Let's talk about trans fats.
It's philosophically nice. Trans fats.
So
that's easy.
the way I
We all
understand
pretty much
trans
agree on
fats,
that.
bad. Everybody is in
sure.
agreement there. They've primarily been removed from the American diet,
Largely.
but they can still sneak in if they're under a certain percentage. So
Right,
talk
if
about
per
that
serving.
loophole there and why they're bad.
Yeah, well, trans fats have, what they are. They're generally produced. I mean, there's two general types. There's some natural trans fats. That's a pretty small percent of what we eat. And then there's what we'll call the industrially produced trans fats. And these are made from vegetable oils that are hydrogenated, or actually partially hydrogenated, meaning that they're made solid, chemically made more solid, like Crisco is the kind of classic. Hydrogenated, and I'm sure it's probably not anymore, but that's the way it used to be. So what happens is you chemically transform some of these polyunsaturated fats into monounsaturated fats with the shape of the double bond flipped. Instead of being like this, it's like this, which doesn't say much to the non-chemists out there. But anyway, it's they behave once they're hydrogenated. A monounsaturated fat, which like oleic acid and olive oil, would normally be liquid at room temperature, but you can have the same 18 carbon, one double bond molecule that's a trans fat, and it's solid at room temperature. So the food industry wanted to make stable fats that were shelf stable. Anyway, they behave. Exactly why they kind of cause inflammation, why they raise LDL cholesterol, why they lower HDL cholesterol. I don't know the actual mechanisms of that, but I do know that there's a lot of evidence that there's increased risk for cardiovascular disease, particularly in diets that are higher in trans fats. And you're right, the FDA has essentially not banned them, but say you had to put them on the label. And so that effectively bans them, because then products have to have, if they have less than, I think is it 1 gram per serving?
I forget the exact number. I know they have
chips,
a low number there that they can sneak
there's
under.
A number. And if you're below that number, you're right, you could just say 0, which is a little disingenuous if you're getting picky about it. Because you can eat, say 1 serving of potato chips. Well, eat seven servings of potato chips, and you got a huge load of trans fats in, even if it's less than 1 gram per serving. So that's the problem. Just back to blood tests. I mean, we do a blood test. We measure the trans fat levels in the blood spot, because we can do this on a whole blood pattern. And so we've seen over the years. I mean, it's been interesting just to look at the aggregate samples coming into OmegaQuant over the last 7, 8, 10 years, and you can see trans fat levels is dropping. It's not because people are trying to avoid them. It's because the food industry is getting rid of them. And so they're just not there as much anymore. They're not completely gone. And you can certainly work your way around it by using non-packaged foods that are, mom and pop kind of cooked. But anyway, trans fats are a good thing to avoid, and they've seemed to have kind of lost the concern, because I think they've been dealt with pretty well.
Since you made it to the end of this clip, I know you're going to love the full episode. Click here to watch. I'll see you over there.
The omega-3 story really started in the 70s with cardiovascular disease. The omega-3s were really shown to do a variety of things. One is they lower levels of one of the blood fats called triglycerides, and lowering levels of that is